There's one set for stun. There's one set for stun. Three guys.
There's one set for stun.
Three guys sitting in a dark room that smells like bad cucumbers.
This is Unique Geek.
Now featuring 11 listeners.
Inconceivable!
It's like radio without a studio or an audience. Yes, it's a triumvirate of excellence as never before experienced on computer.
We picked up a weirdo.
And then there was silence.
And welcome to another edition of 50 Days of Dragon Con, the podcast that creeps and crawls through the night and gets chased with sledgehammers. And joining me as always is the oh, she's not here again. Unfortunately, Lee is under the weather, so we know how that goes when John has to run the show and also pay attention. So fortunately, we have a cavalcade of guests today. So let's just get right into it. We've got, starting on my left to your right, is Ichabod. Ichabod is the second on the horror track, correct?
Yes, assistant director, assistant to the director, if you want to make an office reference.
And into the middle here is the lovely Carol. Carol, how are you doing?
I'm just fine, thank you, John. Thank you for having us.
Oh, I love having you. And you are the director of, let me make sure I got the track right, Urban Fantasy?
That is correct.
There's no media at the time, or
there's no what?
There's no media at the end of that, or it's just Urban Fantasy?
Just Urban Fantasy, because I'm a hybrid track. I do cover both books and media.
Oh, good. We'll get into that.
One of the fortunate ones, yes.
And last, but certainly not least, the track director for the horror track, Derek, or Lord Ravine?
Lord Riven.
Riven,
Yeah.
Lord Riven. We'll call you Derek. Derek,
Yeah,
how you doing,
absolutely.
buddy? Yeah.
I'm doing okay. I'm currently trying to wrangle my cat, who is trying to get on the desk as I suspected. Hello.
There she is. Hi, Agatha.
That's awesome.
Maybe she'll be so terrified at being the center of attention that she'll take.
Oh, look at that. Oh, awesome.
She's wondering what's going on. Anyways,
Now
I
she
expect
knows,
that-
so she doesn't have to continue to be curious.
no, I expect that'll happen again before we're done.
Actually, Red Nerd goes, a surprise late evening episode must be a scary one with the horror track. Yes. Well, let's get into it. Derek, first of all, speaking of horror, how did you become involved with Dragon Con?
Well, do you want the very long version or the shortened version?
Well, I have to. Is any time that you can spend is more time than we get.
Okay, well, the origins of the horror track actually started
I was
in-
born on the will
Yeah.
back in the
Yeah,
years.
well-
What?
Okay, I'll try to give it the a shortened version here.
No, you're
Basically, in 2005, the then chairman of DragonCon, Pat Henry, called me up and asked me if I wanted to take over what was at the time the Gothic culture track, I think is what they were calling
yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's right.
And
All right.
I think they probably suspected that I was going to take it in more of a horror. And I have to be careful saying that because my accent makes it sound like something else.
Yeah.
Uh,
Even without an
but,
accent, it's difficult to say.
yeah. But anyways, what happened was we actually ran it as the Gothic track under various names for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Then we turned it into the Dark Fantasy track, which absorbed the Gothic track. And then that became so large that it was unfeasible. And so what we wound up doing is splitting it off into horror and urban fantasy. In what was that, about 2012, 2013?
2013. This is the 14th year of each of our tracks. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. But at the time when Pat asked me if I wanted to take over, I was like, well, then I wouldn't be able to see the things I want to see at DragonCon. But then I thought, wait, I'd be programming the things that I want to see at DragonCon.
That's true.
And
Yeah.
with memories of the year that I met Clive Barker in 1997 at DragonCon, and also the first couple of World Horror Cons in the early 90s, with those in my memory, I was like, yeah, I'll do this. And they haven't gotten rid of me yet.
What JJ says, the devil made a deal with him in the Appalachian Mountains, but he made a lousy deal. So he got a horror track instead.
Oh, that's Jerry.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I specifically said Jerry needs to listen. So
now, Carol, so we learned just now. Well, we've learned before in the past, but let's assume that we didn't know that before. You are head up the urban fantasy track, which was born essentially at the same time as the horror track, correct?
Yes, they
And
were
so-
split off, and yes, so Derek took over horror, and I was asked to do urban fantasy, and as I said, this is our 14th year for both of us. So that's I thought that was true, but I went through and made sure I was counting correctly. And a good author friend of both of ours, who's been a mainstay of both of our tracks. When the announcement was first made that that Dark Fantasy track was splitting, because I had worked with Derek for 5 years on the other track, and so a lot of the people knew us both, and when the announcement was made that the split had happened and there were now going to be 2 tracks, our good friend Delilah Dawson, in response to the comment, said, well, I feel as though my parents are getting divorced. She said, but it'll be okay because one has a pool and one has a trampoline. So anyway, I've just always thought that was pretty amazing that she put it that way. But yeah, we've been sibling tracks for this whole time.
And I imagine there's a lot of crossover during that time too, right? So you guys.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
In fact, that's one of the reasons that I wanted Carol to take over the urban fantasy track, and why I lobbied so hard for her to take it over, is because I knew I wouldn't argue with her about what goes where.
Right. We saw things pretty much the same way, and we understand pretty well where the lines are, and even though there is some bleed over and there is, as you say, crossover, sometimes even sharing, if you like.
Yeah.
We understand the distinct differences, and we try to stay in each other's lane unless it's something that we feel as though we should do together, and then it's works out
Yeah.
fine.
For example, we're currently sharing the Anne Rice TV adaptations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, the vampire stuff falls on me, and the witch stuff falls on her. So, um, but yeah, I don't know if you remember this, Carol, but at the time of the Urban Fantasy Tracks formation, there was a lot of people in the urban fantasy fan community that were trying to absorb everything under the term urban fantasy. And again, that's why I wanted Carol to take over, because I know she wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
It's like that. I see people
yes.
going, Dracula is urban fantasy. And I'm like, what?
Well, I mean,
Uh,
he might be in a city occasionally, but that's not really
Yeah.
his origin, right? So,
well, that's not the point of the story.
yeah, I know.
guess.
Well, we'll get to more specifics here in a minute, but I don't want to leave Ichabod out because I'm curious as to how you got suckered into this gig.
Bloodsuckered. Yeah. I came in with Derek in 2005, so now we've done a couple of decades of this. But I think largely to hold up to put the goth in gothic horror. I think at that time,
Mhm.
I have a background in the goth scene, being a DJ, both radio and club DJ, and then booking bands. A lot of the bands that kind of overlapped with what Dragon Con was doing. So I was brought in for that, and of course, I'm also a big horror fan as well. So.
And he also wanted your silky smooth voice there on this
That's
track, apparently. Man.
I did radio for a long time.
I was gonna say you that, and it shows. Cool. Yeah. So what was your initial attraction to just the whole goth scene? I know it's a weird question to ask, but what was your first horror film experience or anything like that?
From a young age, I was exposed to Return of the Living Dead through the script, actually, because my uncle had worked with the film company that was putting that out. So we got an early copy of the script that my
sweet.
mom read to me and my brother. And
As
that
a
was
bedtime
in,
story?
yeah, it was in about like 83, a couple of years before the movie came out. And we fought over who would get to read it. So she read it to us and probably cut some things out, but not enough because
It
I
stuck.
turned out this way. So yeah, but that I
It was
think
enough that you got hooked. Huh?
yeah. Oh, I was obsessed. It's still my favorite movie. I think to this day, it's the one that I can watch over and over.
Oh, really? Sweet. What about you, Derek? What was your first horror media experience, or urban fantasy, or goth?
well,
However you want to
You know,
phrase
I-
it. They're all sort of in the same vein, depending upon what you're looking at, but how you're looking at it. But go on.
well, I can't really remember what my first horror experience was. I do remember
Besides
that,
my first year as director at Dragon Con, but go on.
Yeah, no, I was going to say I clearly remember the book Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark scaring the crap out of me when I was a kid. Not the stories, but the art by Stephen Gamble.
Hmm.
And I think that was the first horror media that I kind of connected with, because I later was wondering why that affected me so much. And as far as goth stuff, I actually come in through metal. Actually, I became a fan of gothic metal bands that kind of brought some of the gothic aesthetics. And eventually, I just sort of got into music that dropped the metal element entirely. But I'm actually probably more of a metal guy at heart. But
Well, since we're on a roll,
that's how that happened.
since we're on a roll with this,
I just got distracted by this wolf.
Oh yeah, I was wondering where that came
Here.
from, but yeah.
Carol, I don't know. What about you? What was your first? What drew you to this track the most, or this area?
Well, I think from an early age,
Oops.
I was very fortunate that my mom was very much into the more unusual, the supernatural kinds of things, or she was a big fan of things like the Twilight Zone and Outer Limits. And when I was a kid, I did get to watch The Addams Family and the Munsters
Oh yeah.
when they were first run. when that was, yes, I am old. I got to watch them as a child and enjoyed them very much. And I really feel as though her interest and her, uh, you know, making things so available to me as a kid. I was telling Derek recently, we were talking about, I don't know how we got on the topic. It was, I don't remember. I think maybe it was a post you had made, Derek, about Casper. I was a huge fan of Casper the Friendly Ghost when I was 5 years old. I would used to watch that cartoon on television, and there are a lot
Huh.
of things that younger kids watched back then that probably some people would take issue with at this point in time. But I digress. I
Well, I
did
mean,
get
Casper is like a dead orphan, isn't he? I mean,
something like that.
it's
But
yeah, it's
yeah, and I mean, but it was a very
take a step
cheerful
back.
show, when it comes down to it.
Oh
And
yeah, it
Dark
was
Shadow.
he's a very happy dead orphan.
Yeah, and I actually watched Dark Shadows after school, and I mean, it wasn't only those. I mean, it was things like the original Batman. Um, so this Jerry again, yes, the Werewolves of London. You don't
Yeah.
want to hear me sing, Jerry. Just saying. Uh, but I think that's where my interest probably began, as a child, and I feel very fortunate that I had that kind of a positive experience with the genre, so to speak, even so young, and because somebody summoned Dracula. I'm showing my Dracula doll. So yes, there is some Dracula in urban fantasy. Yeah.
But is he really in the horror track though?
No,
All
this
right.
one
Anyway,
is.
this
No
one's
one will.
yours. This one's yours.
Okay,
It's staying in this one.
Dracula the character belongs to horror track.
Gotcha.
I will die on that hill for them.
There you go. All right. So you guys obviously have some panels scheduled for this year, and some guests. Let's start with you, Carol. Do you have any guests that you want to highlight for us?
Well, I've got, as usual, a whole bunch of wonderful authors coming. I'm very pleased at the array that we have, and we have our bigger name people who will have the the solo sessions on the track. People like Patricia Briggs and Jim Butcher and Sherilyn Kenyon, which will all appear on other panels with other panelists as well. But the experience that we have is you give these people a solo panel so that when people have questions that are just for them, they have a place to go ask those questions rather than on the panel where you have, 4 or 5 other people at the same time. So, but we have some other spectacular people that I'm looking forward to having back, like Sarah Sover and K.A. Lindy and Delilah Dawson, whom I had mentioned earlier. And just a number of people. I can't, again, as Derek was saying earlier, don't want to leave somebody out.
Right.
And those are the authors, but then we also have we have for MediaCast, we have several members of Winona Earp coming back to con. They haven't been since 2019. It's the 10th anniversary of the beginning of that show. And so they were very excited that they were coming to Dragon Con's 40th when it was their 10th. And so we're very excited to have them back. And I've also got a couple of cast members from Wednesday coming to con, and we haven't had any of them in the past, so that should be a lot of fun.
Sweet. Do you have any of the bigger panels that you have going this year? Is there any big talks you have in any of the bigger rooms or anything like that?
Well, I've got and one other media guest that I left off inadvertently is Tyler Labine is gonna be at con, and Derek will probably mention him as well. But I'm getting to have him do a panel about the show Reaper, which was a lot of fun. But it's been a while.
I love that show.
Yeah,
I
yeah. and
love
he's
that show.
gonna-
I am so upset that it was canceled.
Yeah, that was too bad because it was a lot of fun.
It did go
So
through. It did go through a couple of, if I remember correctly, a couple of showrunners. So because you could see the from season to season, it was like a little. It didn't
things
seem.
changed a
Yeah,
little
things
bit.
changed a little bit, right? Yeah. So
So that'll be a lot of fun. I think people will enjoy that. And so yeah, we have that going on. In terms of, I have lots of things going on, even in our track room. Our track room has a pretty good capacity, so I'm able to do most of the author panels and the media fan panels in our room that I don't need extra space for. I say that now, and yet I'll probably have people say, "Oh, but now we don't have enough space for this
yeah,
panel."
exactly.
We don't like to have to turn people away, but I mean, I think every track director is aware of having to do that, now and again, anyway. But we do have, a number of panels with some of the bigger name authors. We have, that are mixed in with some first time folks and, people who we've got a lot of authors coming this year who've never been before. And that's always kind of exciting to see what it's going to be like for them.
For
And,
the first
you know,
timers. Yeah.
yeah, and how they will experience the con. And one thing that we're going to have, well, we're actually have two uh, Buffy fan panel related things. One is that it's the 25th anniversary of Once More with Feeling musical episode,
Mm.
and so in collaboration with the theater lovers group, we're doing a panel on just that episode. Three people from my track and three people from her group. So
Mhm.
that'll be a lot of fun, and so that'll be one. And then the other one we're doing is a memorial, a Buffy memorial.
Oh.
Um, because last year I'd wanted to do something in honor of Michelle Trachtenberg, but we ended up just not being able to get it fitting it into the schedule
Oh.
correctly. But this year it's going to be, we've had two of them die this year of former cast members, so people can come and share their memories and favorite moments and things like that of Giles and Xander and
Oh.
Dawn. And
Oh. Oh,
yeah,
that's what it was, Giles. I couldn't think of who the second person was. You're
yeah.
right. Yeah. Anthony
So
Stewart Head, right?
they
Yeah.
both two of them died just in the last several months. So we're going to do something like that, and some other fun things. Another one of our big, I guess you could say, fandoms. I'm chuckling at Jerry's comment here. Yes. Um,
We'll get back to it.
Again, I'm not sure anybody wants me to sing, Jerry, but we'll
Jerry's
see.
trying. Yeah, for those of you not paying attention, JJ is in the chat is trying to, or those of you just listening, because most of you are just listening. Is trying to get us to sing "Werewolves of London" every time there's a transition that goes on. Sometimes here that has the wolf's head on it. Anyway, go on, Carol. You're saying
Every once in a while, yes. We do have a couple of things we're doing for Supernatural. When you have a genre show that, number one, lasted for 15 years
Mhm.
and then built a fan base that is still going strong, and people, I mean, for all different reasons, who got into the show. I was one of those people who did watch it when it first started, and I've told this before to some big Supernatural fans, that one of the pitches that was made about Supernatural is they said, "Oh, it's like Buffy with boys." And I was like, "Okay, whatever." Anyway, that was what they said, but in any case, so we have one of our Thursday night panels is what we call Supernatural Showdown. And I started doing this our first year back during the pandemic, in 2021. And it's a little competition kind of thing where people can, or well, I've got my panelists, I've got my group of panelists, and this, oh, there we go, he's back again. It's the formidable foes, and I picked out these 5 who I thought were the most formidable that they faced, and then I've got 5 panelists. Well, they don't get to pick who they're going to defend because that might actually result in some bloodshed. But I'm kidding. They all know each other, but I actually draw names, and so these people have to come up with a defense as to why this particular foe was the most formidable, and they get 5 minutes. I actually run a timer on my phone. I've had to cut people off before. I hate doing it, but have to do it. They get 5 minutes to make their case, and then the audience gets 5 minutes to give their reaction, to say what they think. But then at the end, they get to vote on who made the best defense. And I try to remind them, what you're voting on is who's making the best case, not, whether that was your favorite. Was this the person you thought was the most formidable or group or whatever? But in any case, that one's kind of fun, and that's an interactive thing that we do. And it has a pretty good following, and we have people who come every year. So I hope that maybe somebody listening to this who's never seen it before will come and take part.
Great. Now, what about you, Derek? What kind of panels do you have running this year that or guests that you'd like to highlight? I know you guys have a big dance, right?
Yeah, we do have a big party.
Yeah, not dance.
Yeah. Yes.
Is it okay? So is it a dance or is it a party?
I guess it's a little bit of both. I hope people
dance. It's a
dance
party where people dance, right?
Yeah. Yes. That's But we actually have a lot of guests this year. Like I said before, I don't like to start listing names. Otherwise, I'll leave somebody off and I'll feel bad about it later. Now, a couple of guests that are coming that I feel are long overdue. One of them is legendary skinny puppy frontman, Nivik Ogre. He's coming this year. I have met him several times, actually. And he is one of the nicest dudes I've ever met. And I'm really looking forward to him. When his agent actually approached me saying, "Hey, can you help me get in touch with somebody where we can get this guy booked?" And I was like, "Yes." I immediately sent that to my superiors.
Yeah, go on.
I mean, not only is he a legend in the music scene, but he's just a nice guy. Another person, and I apologize if I butcher his name, but Kevin Gravu is he's actually better known for comic books these days, I think. But he's going to be on a couple of my panels talking about mainly his work with Underworld. He's the creator of the Underworld franchise. You can see the poster in the background. See?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
But all I see is a Star Trek one.
Yeah, those are my brothers. Yeah,
I claim no ownership of those whatsoever.
We are actually doing a Monsters of Star Trek panel. I mean, I myself am very unfamiliar with that franchise, but I recognize that's where fandom basically came from. So it's the 60th anniversary. I wanted to do something to acknowledge the progenitors of convention culture, really.
Yeah, fair enough.
We're going to have a special panel. It's a Dark Shadow 60th anniversary panel. And the first 5 people who come in will be able to hit panelist Clay Gilbert with a hammer.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah,
it's a joke.
He doesn't know it, but yeah. He will get hit with a hammer. And actually, yeah, we have Clay McLeod Chapman, a major horror writer, is going to be coming this year. As far as I know, we've unfortunately had some cancellations, so I assume he's still coming.
And this is always a good time to point out that everything is tentative until it's not tentative until it's actually happened.
Yeah.
Guests, artists, authors, people. The human condition is that
That's
things
right.
happen. So
Yeah. Tim Jacobus, who was the kind of created the visuals for the Goosebumps series, is going to be attending this year. And Goosebumps is after my time, showing my age a little bit, but he's a really nice guy, and he puts on a really good presentation, so that should be interesting. Let's
Okay.
see. But yeah, a whole lot of people are coming this year to be on a whole lot of panels. I don't know what I've gotten myself into, but last time I looked, I only have 2 more panels than I had last year, so I think I'll be in pretty good shape. But
You have a
yeah.
good
So
lineup.
what day is the party at, and what time? I guess?
That's going to be Sunday, bleeding over into Monday. Starts at 10 p.m. Eastern time,
Okay.
and it ends at 2 a.m. That's going to be a good party. I'll probably just let John talk about that
Yeah.
because, but the party idea was hatched by him and our friend Dusty from Dusty Gannon and the Agonal Gas, and also one of the tech people, Evan. We were sitting around talking after DragonCon a few years ago, and they were like, "Why don't you do a party, but you play goth music, like the kind of goth music we like?" We did, and it blew up. So,
And how many? So this is your third year doing it, or second year doing it?
5th, isn't it? Ichabod?
Fourth.
Started in
4th.
2022.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, so 2020, 22, 23, 24, 25.
No,
Yeah,
it
so
will be 5 then.
this
Yeah.
will be 5 this year. Yeah.
Oh,
Sweet.
you should do something. Yeah, to acknowledge that it's your 5th year.
So
Yeah, I'm
Ichabod,
gonna
what can
give.
we? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm going to give away some crappy goth jewelry. That was something that we had discussed earlier when nobody told me they would wear this. But yeah.
Well, what can we expect? What can we expect at the party there, Ichabod?
Well, yeah, the open casket party is it's a goth party at DragonCon. We call it the goth party at goth night at DragonCon scale, I guess is the way to put it.
Okay.
I run a night in Nashville called Fascination Street, and then Goth Dad and Twin Powers, who are the other DJs, do the Athens Goth Night, and it's sort of a fusion of the styles that we both do, goth, post punk, death rock, dark wave, that kind of thing, a little bit of industrial. Not kind of unlike, there are a lot of raves at DragonCon, a lot of those already going, so we decided to do something more in line with goth rock and its roots and its connection to horror, because we run visuals that go with that go with the programming we have this year, the anniversaries we're highlighting, like Dark Shadows, having its 60th, that's going to figure heavily. It's on the flyer. So, and there is a casket, and it is open, and we can't really let you get inside, but we will put things in there that you might find interesting and have fun with. So it is a goth night at DragonCon scale.
Oh, sweet. So, now I'm not very familiar with the goth scene, and I know that there are a variety of sort of subgenres inside of goth. Are we looking something like in an eras, like yeah, like a Taylor Swift eras? No, I meant eras as in decades or something like that. Are you looking more like early 2000s or?
It's not really, we're not trying to fence it into any particular time.
Right.
Of course, we go back to the roots of goth in the late 70s and all
Right.
the
Oh, okay,
foundational
sweet.
bands, the Cure, Bauhaus, Sisters, Joy,
Oh,
Susie,
gotcha.
all that stuff, but also including all the stuff that's happening today that you would hear in a goth club, especially the ones that we do. So we're not limiting it to a time, but a style, a group of styles.
Yeah, so that's basically the question was just being asked is, what do you have any typical playlist staples that you guys play? And I think you mentioned it.
If you want to see what I typically play, year round. You could go to the Fascination Street Nashville on Facebook, and we do share our playlists there. And you can scroll back and see kind of what I play. You can actually see the old Open Casket Party playlists on the Dragon Con Horror Track Facebook page if you scroll back there too, or do a search. You
Oh,
can see what we
sweet.
played the previous years. That's all posted. There are pictures from it. You can get a good idea of what goes on there.
Cool. Now, besides a party, usually a lot of people use the party for a variety of things. Carol, I know you're not doing a party, but you do something special for the charity events, correct?
Well, we do. We have something going on all year, but I would like to mention what we do. Kind of two things that we do that are kind of in lieu of a party. One is the Buffy Horror Picture Show, which we will be having 2 showings of after all. Which, if people who are unfamiliar with what that is it's supposed to be a takeoff on the Rocky Horror Picture Show. The name is anyway, and what it entails is that the episode of Once More with Feeling is played on the big screen in the ballroom. These will both be in the Peachtree Ballroom, same place where you'll find the Open Casket Party at the same day, actually.
Not at the same time, though.
Not at the same time, although that might be an interesting idea, but no, that's not at the same time. And then there is a cast of actors who, act out scenes from the show in a kind of a silent film type of thing, because they're not actually speaking; they're letting the episode do the sound, so to speak. And so it's been very popular. We're fortunate that we're getting to do 2 shows again, and we hope people will come to that. And the other thing that I'm doing, if that
Someone's
guy got
someone's
that's
asking
right.
is, I'm hoping if we see that guy got that mustard out during that musical.
Yep, that's right. That we might get that answer. I don't know that might be one of those things that we remains a mystery forever. And then the other thing that we do that was kind of in lieu of a party, aside from the Buffy Horror Picture Show, is that it used to be on Friday nights, is something we call, it used to be Spooky Tales and Haunting Music, and I kind of changed up the title every year, where we had a few different authors reading passages of some of their spooky literature. And then in the past, we've had a band who played afterwards. We've had both our good friends Valentine Wolf, and then
Happy
last
birthday,
year
Braxton.
we had what's that?
Sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry.
Happy birthday to Braxton. Oh, no, that's good. I'm glad you said that, because I would have thought of it 2 hours later after we were done with this. And then we had Charming Disaster last year. Well, neither of them are at con this year. So we are having Spooky Tales on Sunday night, and it is going to be the 4 different authors reading passages. And I am going to borrow Clay McLeod Chapman to do that. He has not been with us before. He was, when I asked him if he would do it, he was on board. So I'm excited for, to hear what he has coming. And we are going to have some creepy music underplaying, but it's like pre-recorded stuff. Then we won't get to have a live band this year, but we're looking for that. Those are kind of our 2 larger things that we've done in the past too. But then as far as the charity goes, we have our competition, which is called the Battle of the UF Track Fandoms. And the reason I do that is it's just supposed to be a fun little way that people can donate to whatever the charity is for the year, and they can vote for their favorite property. Buffy has won the last 2 years. I have a feeling with the cast members of Winona Earp that they might get being at con, they may end up getting
an extra boost.
Yeah, some competition this year. But we tell people what it is and what they can do. But then we also have something called the book bucket. So that if people either don't watch any of our shows or they don't, you know, really, they would just prefer to, they want to donate, but they would rather donate in support of that side of the track. They can do that as well. And that has been a lot of fun. And in the past, the book bucket has won a couple of times too. So, people have a lot of fun and they get some bragging rights out of it. And I literally get people asking me, they will message me and say, who won? And I mean, I've had people ask me that like that night or the next day. And I mean, usually by then we already know, but I haven't publicly announced it yet. But
Right.
we do have, we try to have a little bit of fun with it and get people to donate. And it seems to work. And so, it's something that people enjoy. And as long as they're giving to the cause, that's the important thing.
Sweet. Now, Derek and Ichabod, you guys do something a little. Most people put buckets out to get the extra change and donation. You guys try to stay on theme.
Yeah. Actually, we have a bucket that is shaped like Edgar Allan Poe's decapitated head, and I have noticed that we've had a monetary boost ever since we started using that. Interestingly enough, I got that idea from watching a video by a YouTuber named Chris the Girl, who actually will be at con this year. So it's kind of come full circle as far as that's concerned.
Well, you know what you need to do? You should take a picture of her with the head
There you go.
while
Well, what was
while
the
she's
what
there,
was the
because
connection there?
What now?
What was the connection with her? As
Oh,
far as the head.
she just showed it on one of her videos one time, and I said that would be great to use for a charity bucket.
Oh,
So
I
I had
see.
Ichabod go out to Michael's and find it because they had sold out of them all in my town.
Oh, gotcha.
So we do use that. I actually bought some jack-o'-lantern pails too this year, so we can carry those around. But
What time do you guys get into to start your room prep?
well, we're working that out right now. Me and Ichabod are actually going to be on site Wednesday,
Mhm.
I think.
Yeah,
But
that's the plan.
but Thursday 7 o'clock is when our first panel is, and so we should be in there. We actually can't decorate extensively because we can't really put things on the walls.
Right.
But and we have the Netherworld people. They come in and put stuff up sometimes. But yeah,
Now, are you guys? Is your track still? I'm going to use air quotes sponsored because I'm not sure if it is officially sponsored by Netherworld.
Oh yeah, it's officially sponsored
Oh,
unless
okay.
somebody hasn't told me this year. But yeah. They are our longtime
Which
sponsor.
I mean
Decoration
could
person.
happen.
Oh yeah. Well,
Uh,
I like Netherworld. They have never exercised editorial control over my programming, so I've always been happy to deal with them. And they bring in some really cool looking stuff to put in the room. So
Yeah, there's always a monster in the corner of the room that you can take photos with. So another feature.
Yeah.
If you want to drop by and see us.
yeah.
yeah, and you can also look for the big banners that they give us.
Yes.
That is where the room is. We are in Peachtree 1-2, not the Peachtree Ballroom. This is very important.
And
Same
in which
floor.
which
And your floors. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to ask which hotel is that in again?
Oh, Weston Peachtree
West.
Plaza.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So if I was coming off the Peachtree side up those stairs, where would I go to find you guys?
Just go up. I think it's 2 times. It's on the 8th floor.
Okay.
But the escalator dumps you right out in front of the track room.
Yeah.
So you can't miss it unless you're looking for the Peachtree Ballroom, at which point you need to go to the other end of the hall.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys do most of
Yeah, and
your stuff stays in the Western then. You guys don't really travel
Uh,
outside of it.
no, actually, this year we have a number of panels that are taking place in other hotels. I mean, our base of operations is the, but yeah, we're going to have several main ring panels throughout Dragon Con country.
All right, cool. Let's see, make sure that we got that I got everything. Okay, no, I put down on this word on my board here, decapitation. I think we took care of decapitation, right? That was the
Yeah.
Edgar Allan head. That's how I remember that one. What other, do you guys do anything that's like a crossover between that you guys share across each other? And let me also ask that question too while I get the game ready for tonight. How do you guys make that? Because we really didn't discuss it, but how do you guys make that delineation and have that conversation between what's horror and what's urban fantasy, and what are the little signposts? I know that sometimes it gets really blurry, but what are the little signposts that you look for besides vampires?
You know, Carol, actually, you haven't given your definition of urban fantasy, I don't think. So for newbies, that might actually be something interesting. So.
Yeah, and well, and I will say that we actually do a panel. But once every, I don't know, 2 or 3 years, I usually do a panel on, you know, urban fantasy and horror. The similarities and the differences, just because it's interesting to hear the take of different, different people who write in both genres, and to get their feel for it. But to Derek's point, what I would the way I describe urban fantasy to people who ask me what does it mean, or what exactly is that, most people understand. Well, most people understand the basic difference between, say, science fiction and fantasy, but then they're
Right.
like, urban fantasy, what the heck is that? And urban fantasy, which I think in a way is a little bit of a misnomer, because it doesn't always take place only in a city, but it tends to take place in more, urban environments, or at least communities of people, that kind of thing.
More populated
it's
areas type
Where
thing.
you have a story that is set, yeah, usually, yeah, or at least I mean, again, that's not a strict definition, but I
Hmm.
mean, it is for some people. I've actually heard some people say that they think that it must be that way, but I don't particularly agree with that. But the delineation I make is that it's something where the primary action of the story takes place in the real world.
Oh.
Now, every once in a while, you'll get something that has, like there are portals. Usually, those portals are to places you're trying to keep things out. You don't want them coming through the portals into our world. But the majority of the action is set within our world. But then we also have supernatural. You don't know what urban fantasy
Yeah, I don't know
is?
what
What was the comment there?
Red Nerd said, I
You
don't know
know it
what
when you
urban
see it.
fantasy is, but I know it when I see it. It's the old Supreme Court joke. Anyway, going.
Right.
Sorry.
Kind of like pornography. You don't know how to
Yeah,
describe
exactly.
it, but then yeah.
Exactly.
And there's but you've got it's set in our world, but with uh, magical creatures, the supernatural, however you want to define it. Whereas other kinds of fantasy can take place, especially if you're talking like high fantasy. Those are things that are completely different worlds, not our world. And that's basically my definition when people ask. Not quite that long-winded, but that real world setting, magic, supernatural creatures or beings of some sort.
Gotcha. And so then everything else in that sort of spooky area falls under horror? We'll call it spooky.
Kind of, I guess. I mean, to
Is there
me,
any other
horror is
track
basically
that
a
you ever
narrative.
find that you're sort of not butting heads up against, but that sort of shares a similarity that some where that line becomes blurry, even more blurry?
Uh, Yeah, I mean, sometimes. I mean, Apocalypse Rising for example,
Fair enough.
they cover like a lot of the zombie apocalypse stuff.
Right.
And some of the other tracks, like I forgot who's doing it this year, but I saw somebody was doing a panel on gothic horror in film. So,
Ms. Waffle asks,
you know,
what would Anne Rice's vampire books be under? I guess the books
Horror.
themselves.
Yeah, and they
they've
kind
been
of
grandfather.
yeah, they've been grandfathered into you. And well, tell what you're doing with the 50th anniversary, right? Is it 50th or 40th of?
No, it's 50th. Yeah.
That's what I
Oh.
thought.
Yeah, those books have been grandfathered in to horror because that's what they were originally published or associated with before urban fantasy was even a genre.
Right. Or named
and
John.
yeah, good point. Good point. But yeah, we're doing a panel on the 50th anniversary of Interview with the Vampire, but it's very specifically on the book.
Okay.
Because the TV shows, while they are enjoyable, they do diverge quite a bit from the material, and I don't want panels that just wind up being my thing is better than your thing,
Mhm.
So I would rather just split that into two different panels. So we are going to have a panel on the TV shows in addition to the panel that is specifically on the book. So
Sweet.
Right, and then we're doing the Mayfair Witches show.
Yeah, actually, in fact, that's what Sarah just said. Yeah, you're doing Mayfair Witches, though. So yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, we do that because well, there are those books and
Somebody,
Jerry's out of
Jerry's saying,
I'm sorry,
yeah,
I can't help but laugh at your comments.
yet they still ignore Varney the vampire. Justice for Varney.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we probably don't ignore them. Some of us like them both.
Yeah.
And but there also is a good reason to keep those two things separate, which is something that I do not do we're on my track. Ever we're covering a show that's an adaptation of some book, and the show is still ongoing. There is no discussion of the source material. That it's like we're talking about the show, we're not talking about the books.
Oh,
this is not a comparison.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting. How
well,
do you
everybody
refrain those
reads
people from doing that? we're
Oh,
all nerds.
experience. Yeah. Well, the thing is,
We
in
want
the
to compare.
past, say for example, a discovery of witches.
Mhm.
We, we would have a book discussion, like if one of the new volumes of the book was out, we got to have a book discussion in a separate. That was a separate panel. Whereas when you're talking about just the show, in some instances, people have read the source material, but some have not. Not
Right, yeah.
everybody consumes media the same way, and
Fair
I
enough.
don't want people who are not. If the show is ongoing, I don't want somebody coming in and saying, yeah, but in book 3, so-and-so did whatever. And then
Fair
that's
enough.
a potential spoiler for someone. And I don't think that that's fair. And so when we do it on my track, we don't do that. So we definitely keep it separate. But I think with the Anne Rice stuff, as Derek said, it was kind of grandfathered in because of the fact that it gets, it was given that designation long ago, but there are aspects of that series that could go either way. But I think we didn't really talk about Derek's definition of horror, and that for me, typically I think, and Derek can tell me if I'm wrong, when there are some spooky, scary, and yes, sometimes even gory things that happen in some urban fantasy, even if it's not played up. But in horror, they go a step beyond in terms of what we really want to do is frighten you. We really want you to be scared. And I think that that's one way that people can make that distinction. Agree, disagree? Derek, John, what do you think? Or Ichabod?
My definition, and this is the one that I've been sticking to for the past couple of years, is horror is a narrative with the quality of a nightmare.
Yeah,
Ichabod? Is
I
that
mean,
I get that.
that's pretty much what it boils down to. Sometimes it's psychological, sometimes it's supernatural. I'm not one of these people who think that something has to have a supernatural element to be horror. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going with. So, by the way, the reason I got up a minute ago, I actually had my copy of Varney the Vampire out, so I wanted to show that no, we're not ignoring Varney. Not a very good book, but I do own a copy of it.
Yeah, I've got one somewhere over here too. But yeah, there's no telling exactly where.
Ichabod, you okay with that definition of horror?
I think so. Yeah, I don't have a better one for sure.
Well,
yeah, and I
go ahead. Go ahead,
it's kind of like whoever's comment was about they know urban fantasy when they see it, if they can't describe. That's in a way, that's kind of the way it is for us trying to do some of these distinctions. But you know, we're pretty good about knowing where each other's playground is, I think.
Yeah,
Well,
Carol doesn't want cannibal stuff near her panels, and
and you just that's just par for the course for you, right? Yeah. Well, we gonna ask you one more question of both of you, just to remind everyone where you're at. But down in the chat for you guys, down in the chat, you should see on your screen there a code. You might have to pop it up. It's a little text bubbles down there at the bottom. And Jackbox TV will get you guys going there. Just to remind everyone where you are located and how to get a hold of you via the interwebs.
Oh.
We'll start with you, Carol.
Okay. Well, the easiest thing to do, for us, we have a couple of different places that you can go, but the one that gets updated the most often and pretty much is active all year long is our Facebook page. And if you just look up DragonCon Urban Fantasy, it's the first one that comes up. And that's us. And that's where you'll find news and links to different, programming things. We do have a Blue Sky account as well. That is more active this time of year, like for the last couple of months. Actually, my second.
Are you posting on it? Because the thing that we seem to hear is that we have a Blue Sky account, but we really don't know what to do with it. But you're posting on it?
Yeah, no, he does. He links. Well, throughout July, we did what we call panel peaks, and Derek does the same thing. He calls it something else, but with the same idea, just with the titles of panels, just to get people's appetite whetted, for what is to come. And those were always linked to Blue Sky, but I've kind of given that over to Kevin. I go look at it every once in a while, but he's more active there anyway with some of the other fandom stuff that he does. So he takes care of that for us. But again, if you go to DragonCon Urban Fantasy, you will find us on Blue Sky. And then we do have, at this point over 100 different videos of different content on our Track YouTube channel.
Oh, sweet.
Since 2020. And again, if you put in DragonCon Urban Fantasy, it'll take you right there.
Sweet. And how about you, Ichabod and Derek?
Well, honestly, the only social media I really use is the Facebook page. If you go out to and just look for DragonCon Horror Track, you'll find it. I mean, that's the best way to use it. And I realize that Facebook is dropping off in popularity, but honestly, it's still the one that I'm most used to using. So call me a Luddite. for not getting with the times, but
Luddite.
but that's where you can find me, and I might overshare a bit much sometimes, but yeah.
All right, did you guys find that text message in there and join the group?
I have it on my phone. So,
did you join the room?
Do I hit play? Is that what I do?
Yeah. There you go.
Well, there's a coffin with fangs on it. I guess that's it.
Carol, you got yours?
I am not seeing it.
It's down in where the chat is. There's a little button down towards the bottom of the page that looks like two little chat boxes, I guess.
I am not even seeing the way to get to the chat.
Okay, can you do you have it on your phone? Can you go to jackbox.tv and I'll just give you the code right away, and then
I do not have the link on my phone for this event.
just open up a tab or on your phone, go to jackbox.tv. Oops. He says, we're old and TikTok and Twitch are weird. Get off our lawn. Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did you get there,
Yes.
Carol? Okay, so the code, you ready to put in the code? Is
Yes.
VRSN. VRSN. Please, no one jump in there. Okay, there we go. And then just hit play.
And then put my name in.
Put your name in and play. Yep. Hopefully Carol gets it. There we go. All right. So those of you in the audience that wish to play, go ahead and jump in now. We see a couple jumping in already. Probably should put the audio on so you can hear it. There we go.
I'm not sure what I look like a marshmallow. That's okay because I like marshmallows.
Hey, if Jerry's playing, he can choose the turret.
All right. Looks like we're ready to go. We're urban fantasy and horror themed for this episode of Quiplash.
Brace yourselves, it's Quiplash 3. Quip's Gone Country. My real name is Josh, but you can call me Schmitty. It's a common nickname for Josh. Hey, if you're bummed out you're not in the game, you can still affect the score. Join the voting audience by entering the room code. Time for round 1. You'll get 2 prompts on your device to answer any way you please. You'll go head-to-head with another player's response and everyone else votes on their favorite. Sound easy? That's because it is. You're going to get points based on the percentage of votes you get, so don't hold back.
All right, so you guys are getting a couple of whatchamacallits there. Prompts. That's the word I was looking for. Prompts. Let's see. We got the Powell family playing: Brandon, Carol, Derek, Ichabod, Eternal Zan, Joey, and Oddbean. Oddbean's new. Joey played with us the last time. I know that. And JJ says he'd be playing, but he is on foot patrol. I don't know if that means that he's patrolling for feet, or which is sort of like a, I don't know, Tarantino-esque thing to do. But
yeah, that's a whole other thing.
Let's see. We had a whole thing going on here earlier. I gotta go back up to the top. Let's see. We had
Miss Waffle says, "Goes Ed."
What the heck was that?
Rednerd8926 says, "He's scrolling through WikiFeed."
Time's running out.
How the audio? I accidentally turned on the audio for the that's what that was. I was like, what is going on? I accidentally turned on the audio for the text
Down
feed
to
as
the
it goes through.
wire. Ooh, I hope you got it in time.
All right. A couple of people may have missed.
So, how do you think you did? Let's see.
That happens often.
And here's your first prompt.
All right. Rejected name of the Urban Fantasy Detective Agency.
Wow. Enjoy the freebie.
Alleyway Johnson. Alleyway Johnson.
Next we have...
First, no answer. Okay. The most suspicious thing to read on a on a werewolf's dating profile.
Pick your favorite.
It wasn't me or located in London. The most suspicious thing to read on a werewolf's dating profile. It wasn't me or located in London. Oh, that's what it is.
This game is weird and confusing. It's scaring me.
Let's see. It wasn't me. It was Joey. Oddbean said located in London. Located in London wins that game.
And here we have...
I figured that was the obvious choice, but that's why I went with the other one.
Something you should never ask during a seance.
That's
Please
what we call
haunt
a
my
gimme.
body, said the Fowl family. No answer. Derek
And
spaced out.
next is...
a vampire pickup line that works surprisingly well after midnight.
All
Do
right,
you come
choose
here
your
often,
favorite.
or your coffin or mine? I'm just dying to go. Do you come here often, or your coffin or mine? I'm just dying to go. Vampire picket line. Picket line. Yes, a vampire picket line. Right after the conga line. Pickup line is what I meant. Your coffin or mine wins. Don't think about it. You right with it?
Let's see the next one.
The disturbing fine print hidden inside of a demon's contract.
And now
Drink
it's
your
time to
blood
vote for your
or
favorite.
marrying the demon is a requirement. The disturbing fine print hidden inside of a demon's contract. To drink your blood. Now, is that the demon gets to drink your blood, or you are the one drinking your own blood?
Yeah,
I
see,
feel
that's why it's disturbing, I guess.
Marrying the demon is a requirement with Brandon and wins that. The Fowl family will drink your blood.
And next,
the first clue that your convention roommate is actually 3 monsters in a trench coat.
all right, people, it's voting
They
time.
are a villain. Their knees are at their waist. They are a villain, or their knees are at their waist. I think there might have been a supplied quiplash there. The first clue that your convention roommate is actually 3 monsters in a trench coat. Their knees are at their waist, or they are a villain. Oh, their knees are at their waist wins. That was Eternal Zan.
Next on the docket,
The comment that earned a witch a 1-star rideshare review. Boyle in trouble.
half of winning this game is just showing up. Here's some points.
Ichabod values quality over quantity. That's what it said.
That was round 1. Reminder that those all go on your permanent record. Let's see the scores.
All right, let's see where we're at.
Yay,
And-
0.
Oh no! Carol, Dick Ichabod. Ah!
I hope you shook off the nerves because it gets real in round 2. The prompts
Was
are
that
more
Brandon that was in the lead? I
demanding,
missed
so
that
I've
completely.
doubled the points.
I'm more of a board game person, so.
All right, they're getting their answers again on their devices over there. While they do that, I will go back through the chat here where we were. Someone pointed out that Anne Rice does blur those lines. Yes, we had that conversation. One person actually said I would say that some alt history, steampunk could also be urban fantasy depending on the story, but those are very niche. That was one person's opinion. Let's see what we got. Oh, someone mentioned that they're so old that they still think of Anthony Stewart Head as the romantic coffee guy.
Yeah.
But that was for, what was that for? That was Folgers? I think
What was
it was Folgers or Sanka, or I think it was Folgers. I want to believe it was Folgers.
It was like International Coffee or something.
Was it
like
International?
that.
Okay.
I want to say that's what it was, but I don't. I can't. Of course, now that you're asking me, I don't remember.
Let's see. 50 horror earlier. JJ said 50 horror lore credibility points to anyone other than Derek. That gets my reference in my devil post that was earlier today with the what was that? The lousy balladeer. Does it involve a fiddle? As someone asks. No fiddle. It's a book series. The writer has an award named after him. Okay. Yeah, there you go. And for the 0.202% on the audience curious for this answer, it's a reference to John Baldear stories by, okay, we're back to the...
Oh, by Manly Nade.
Up to bat, we have...
All right, here we go. A monster you know is evil, but still shamelessly attracted to.
All
Spike
right, vote.
or the creature from the Black Lagoon. The monster you know is evil. A monster that you know is evil, but you are still shamefully attracted to. Creature from the Black
man's not
Lagoon
evil.
or Spike. What's... Yeah, what... Yeah.
He's just protecting his home.
Precisely. Oh, Taster's Choice. That's what it was called in the
Yeah,
U.S.
that's right.
Thank you, JJ. Oh, Zan also pointed out it was Taster's Choice. A creature from the Black
Without
Lagoon.
further ado,
An
I'm
awkward
sorry,
reason
but-
a legendary vampire slayer suddenly quit the business.
time
They
to
got a
pick the
bad
one
case
you
of
like
con
best.
crud, or they fell in love with the vampire. The awkward reason a legendary vampire slayer suddenly quit the business. They got a bad case of con crud or fell in love with a vampire. Somebody said, "Oh, Spike." That Eve is very important. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I said Spike. I assumed it was Spike.
That's,
they got-
that's what I put in. Yeah, it took it before I got the last letter.
Fell in love with
All
the vampire.
right, check
wins.
this out.
A party trick that got the necromancer banned from every Hyatt
Here's
after
the fun
party.
part. Pick your favorite quip.
A party trick. Turd Ferguson is a party trick. Okay. The enormous meteor heading for Earth. I feel like that was probably selected by random from the application. The enormous meteor heading to Earth, because there is Turd Ferguson or the enormous. I mean, none of those make any sense for the question that's there.
Not for a necromancer, no.
But Turd Ferguson wins.
That's
the
the one
safety
I was
quip.
going to vote for, but it wasn't.
I knew that one of them had to be a safety
Okay, what's next?
The title of a forbidden magical book that sounds more naughty than dangerous.
Decisions.
Book of
Choose your
Magical
favorite.
Verbs, or That's What Your Mummy Said. The title of a forbidden magic book that sounds more naughty than dangerous. The Book of Magical Verbs, or That's What Your Mummy Said. That's nice. I'm a simple man. I see Ted Ferguson. Ted Ferguson, and it gets my vote. That's JJ. That's what your mommy said. Ekes it out.
Moving right along.
They spell a witch cast when bless your heart isn't strong enough. A nice
Never
weekend
turn
at the lake.
down free
Oh,
points is
another
what I
safety
always
cue.
say.
They spell a witch cast when bless
Let's
your
keep
heart
it
isn't
going.
enough. Didn't have an answer. The unexpected reason the apocalypse had been postponed.
Okay, choose your
At Topeka
favorite.
House postponed. I wrote these and I still can't read them right. Snowy day, or the Uber driver got lost on the way there. An unexpected reason the apocalypse had to be postponed is the Uber driver got lost on the way there. I can imagine in that apocalypse version, it's sort of like the Cabin in the Woods apocalypse version.
Yeah, exactly.
Uber driver got lost on the way there. With Brandon.
Let's
I
see
thought
how
the
they
snow day
handle.
was funny, so that's why.
The least reassuring amenity listed by a Honda hotel. The least reassuring
Nothing like
amenity.
running unopposed.
We got rid
Here's
of all
some
the
points.
ghosts, we promise. The least reassuring amenity listed by
And now,
something you definitely don't want a ghost to whisper
now
while
it
you're
gets
in the shower.
real. Pick your favorite.
Your cans are so bony, or
I should read cold, not cold.
are you cold? or just scared to see me. The something you definitely don't want a ghost to whisper while you're in the shower. Your cams are so cool. Or are you cold or just scared to see me? Are you cold or just scared to see me wins.
Yay.
Goodbye,
He starts
round
answering
2,
quickly.
and hello, scores.
Oddbean was winning. That's what I was trying to remember earlier. But Brandon is winning now.
And
Last
now
one.
for Quiplash, a crazy final round that came to me in a fever dream. Each of you will be sent a prompt that requires 3 separate responses.
Three separate
One of you
responses.
wasn't paying attention, but that's fine.
All right, you can be sent a prompt, and it's going to have 3 answers to it. It's going to ask you for, like, name 3 something or other. Let's see. Horror scares the pants off you that you bought in the urban fantasy. That was Red Nerd earlier. Someone thanking you for bringing up the discovery of witches. There's some fantastic discovery of witches conversation last year. Apocalypse Rising. Don't know. That's out of context. I'm not sure what that means. Let's see. Someone was replying to Red Nerd. Don't know if they have werewolf songs. Oh, let's go back up here. I wonder if any songs involving werewolves are staples at that party. And then don't know if they have werewolf songs, but they should slip a little
Guru in there, yeah.
Loop Guru, okay, in there. At least Sleep Forever, which has a zombie TV show connection. So there you go. Not sure what that is. Outside of my let's see, and race. We talked about that. Vampires. And someone said Gozan at one point. Yeah, so oops. Oh, we got another. All right. And we got 5 seconds left on the timer for the last round here. Hurry!
All right, let's have it.
I feel like these timers aren't long enough. Even though they're long. Name 3 dating profile red flags when your match describes itself as an ancient, crinkly, experienced, and
And
desiccated.
we're left to wonder what could have been.
Name 3 dating profile red flags. Name 3 things you should never say while a vampire is staring at your neck. Nice hickey
All
tracker.
right, vote for the one
Is
you
that
like
glitter?
best.
I taste like garlic. See something you like. This was the other one. Name 3 things you should never say to a vampire while a vampire is staring at your neck. Uh-oh.
I'm with you.
Nice. Tracker, is that glitter? That one. Name 3 services offered by an extremely questionable paranormal detective. Self-service ghost hunting.
Okay, everybody, pick your favorite quip.
Drains the slime with Drano. Or clean the tubes with... I'm not sure. That might have been lead. Might have been, I'm not sure, leather. Might have been something like that. Lotion, defrosting, and counseling. This says, hello, I have a Star Wars question for you and your friends if you don't mind. Angie, I suspect by your name you may not be a real person, but you're more than welcome to ask your question. We're not going to answer. Self-service ghost hunting wins. Self-service ghost hunting wins. Name 3 things. Name 3 things found beneath the bed in a haunted Marriott room.
All
The
right,
original
choose your
Marriott
favorite.
carpet. Oh, nice. Leftover Hyatt rum buckets. Autos from the Walk of Fame. Autographs from the Walk of Fame. Or directions to the con suite. Sven, the drunken dragon. Or last of the Marriott carpet. Oh, we got 2 Marriott carpets. So it's a Star Wars question, Death Trooper related. Nice. Let's see, original. Nope.
I just thought
Go ahead.
finding 10 would be fun.
Wow, this is it. Show us the final scores.
You had me at Marriott Carpet. All right. Final scores. Eternal Zan wins. Congratulations, Eternal Zan. All right.
Very good.
All right, hold on. I'm pretty positive that this is not. All right. Do you and your friends think Keanu Reeves would play a great Darth Revan? Revan? I don't. I've that on my lore. If you watch Maul Shadow Lord, do you think that Pink Twilight become Darth Talon? That's all way outside of my league, and probably outside of the league of all of us here. But I'm sure someone in the chat will be more than willing to answer that question. But for now, we're going to wrap this thing up. So, again, one more time, let everyone know where you can find you at con and where they can find you on the web if they need to reach out to you for whatever reason. Whoever wants to go first goes first.
Okay, well, I will go first because we didn't actually talk about where my room is located last time. But now, when you come in the Westin, come into the front door of the Westin from Peachtree Street, that's technically the 6th floor. If you go all the way to the back of that floor, just straight to the back, behind the escalators is where my track room is, Chastain 1 and 2. Now, if you're going to the horror track, you're going to take those same escalators that my room is in back of to go up 2 flights. And that would be to the horror track.
There you go.
That is correct.
So we're very easy to get between, which is good because we have, as you can imagine, some of our volunteers on both tracks like to go to programming on the other track. And so they do a lot of that. And they are fortunate, or sometimes you guys have the issue with people thinking that things are in your room when they're really in the Peachtree Ballroom, the same floor. Yeah. So
we have a sign directing people away from directing people to the Peachtree Ballroom if that's what they're wanting to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, and so just to close out the Angie of it all, Angie's trying to get the answer in the chat. Angie, though, we're not probably the best. This particular version of the podcast is not, or episode of the podcast is not the best suited for that question because most of us are, most of the folks here are on the horror and urban fantasy folks, not Star Wars. So. All right. Anyway, and if you leave the Westin to check the rest of the con, well, it's all downhill from there, says the infamous Jerry. All right. So until next time, for Ichabod, Carol, and Derek, and the missing Lee, this is John saying peace.
thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
This was a production of the Unique Geek. Call our comment line at 8133210TUG. That's 81332108884. Email us at thegeeks@theuniquegeek.com or 50days@theuniquegeek.com. Follow the Unique Geek on Facebook and Twitter. This podcast is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share-alike license.
See ya.
Bye.